Maybe.
Can you hear me now?
Maybe.
On a midnight summer day.
Okay.
Stay with me. Welcome back to Bake Beyond Belief, everybody.
Yay.
Right.
Woo.
Okay, nobody's ever been that enthusiastic about this before.
That's gonna be the highlight of the video.
Yeah, just the beginning.
I think the microphone has stopped drifting, but only because it's reached its peak.
Same.
Peak.
Peak.
Anyways, we have Ainsley back on the
Ainsley.
channel.
Hi, friends.
The only female that's still only been on the podcast.
They begged me to come back, so I did.
Yeah.
We said we need more females.
It really got our views up.
Yeah,
It did nothing.
it really hit the female demographic of the podcast.
Yep.
And that is 2%.
So as a female, how do you feel about the Big Beyond Belief podcast? Wow, I fucked that up.
Yeah, you just said words. It's not
As a
good
female, how do you feel about the Bake Beyond Belief podcast?
It's definitely a podcast.
No, okay, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
With 3 white dudes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Sometimes
definitely
4.
Yeah, it's one of those podcasts too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
Is it
Cool.
better than the basement yard?
Yes.
Hard no.
I was gonna say the basement yard's pretty good.
Yeah,
I
it's pretty
have
good.
paid for their Patreon, so
Damn.
and
GG.
I
Sell out.
yeah.
What am I not doing for you? You haven't paid for our
Having-
membership.
Have you paid for
Yeah, I
ours?
forgot we had one. I forgot we had that.
Welcome back to We Grill Ainsley.
With my financial situation at the moment, I probably can't subscribe to both. And since I live in the house where the studio is, I don't think I should have to pay. I think I should get it
I
for
did this here
free.
for free.
Wait, everyone. Do you currently pay for the basement yard?
I subscribed in September of this year.
Like last month.
What? The fuck?
That was so loud.
It's worth it. I promise.
Is
AJ.
We're not?
That
Stop. Okay, just let them
it's daddy voice, AJ. Daddy voice.
we're not worth it?
No, you are, but I feel like I contribute in many other ways where I don't need to be on that level of.
She does cook for us. That's what she
I
does.
do. I do cook for them.
Food happens.
Yes.
Name 100 ways that you contribute to us.
100. I don't even think I can name 100 ways I can shoot.
I can name 2.
Yeah.
You know what? See, she can't do it.
Heckling in these mics. That's what I contribute to this channel.
One, I replenish the Brita.
Hell yeah.
Facts. Water is important.
Facts.
2, I add a female perspective.
That's also true. Yes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, facts.
Sometimes.
Not cap.
I've brought 3 cats into this household, and I think that makes everything a little bit more interesting.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make it helpful.
I mean, I think it makes it just a little bit more interesting. I think since Gouda's been on the screen, that's why you guys have really shot up in subscribers, because they're waiting.
She's the one that got AJ, like you and AJ in trouble.
Okay. Technically, that's my mom's bad, but we forgive her for that. But
Your mom hates me.
my mom does not hate you. My mom just has a really dry sense of humor, and she doesn't get that people don't get it. AJ also thinks
over the age of 40, no one likes being called ma'am. Ainsley's mom is nobody is like no different than that.
I literally got off a course that was like, anybody female you should call ma'am. So I was like at Tim Hortons, I was like, thank you, ma'am. You know, like it's like I was told it was a polite thing to do, so I did it. You know, it wasn't like a you're old kind of thing. It was just like a, hey, you're a person and I respect you for that. Hello, ma'am. And then I got met with, don't ever fucking call me ma'am again. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Don't murder me.
Yeah.
no, my mom's a sweetheart. She doesn't hate you.
Yeah, she seemed really nice afterwards.
And she's just like, who's this other dude? Like,
Who's the fuck is
yeah,
this guy?
who's this other guy?
My mom is just very blunt, and
Facts.
I live for it, honestly. I really appreciate that about her.
Blunt people are the best.
Can I talk about something that is
Nope.
Nope.
So I thought it was I appreciated that she was like, I didn't like that. Go fuck yourself. And then she was like, and then it was it. That was done.
Yeah.
Right. And then afterwards, we were just like all chilling and talking. It was really nice.
You did not feel that way at the moment. You're like, I didn't know.
Yeah, because afterwards I was like, I'm so fucking sorry. I didn't mean to upset anyone.
And you thought about that for how long?
Probably an entire day after.
I don't want to say that like my mom is a little bit maybe on the spectrum, just with like how, because I don't think she would ever think or like be like, oh yeah, like, but she's so blunt, and it's really funny when she's like new coworkers, because she's like, oh, she'll be like, oh yeah, they're getting used to my sense of humor, and I'm like, I'm like, Mom, I'm like, maybe they're just getting like used to that's you, and maybe they think that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
What a weird way to say your mom is on the spectrum without saying your mom is on the spectrum.
Well, like, I don't want to say she is, but like, that's definitely something where I'm like, do you
that's
realize?
how you say it, though. That's how you say it,
Yeah.
though. Like you say,
Like,
I don't think you are, but I think you are.
No, I just think that can be a very strong characteristic, and I don't know. Sometimes I question it. I mean,
have you ever said this not on the podcast?
absolutely not. This is all for the cameras, guys.
I'm sending this directly to her. She's gonna be so offended, and she's gonna be so happy about me
see,
for
like,
defending.
mean,
I don't think your mom's ever been on the spectrum. I don't think there's been a point in her
she's
life
such a nice
where,
lady.
where,
How can you say that about your own mother?
Well, thank you, ma'am.
I don't think there's ever been a point where she shifted to like a little bit on the spectrum. I think she's always been off.
Well-
and I think you're offensive for saying so.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ainsley, AJ's going to be editing this video. I'm sorry.
So welcome back to the Unbelief Podcast.
I mean, if you think that's offensive, I've told you about the voice to text I accidentally sent her the one day on my break at work.
That was hilarious, the way you explained that to me.
Yeah, so just for the podcast, I might use a little bit of a nicer language here. But I was on my break at work and I was grabbing Starbucks and I was driving and I had went to message my mom because we had a bunch of fake florals for my brother's wedding that did not occur. And I was like, hey, can I donate these to the restaurant I work at for like some fall decor? Like they're just taking up space in my house and like, I don't think you want them. Would that be okay? So that's what I'm going to text, like voice to text her. And as I'm driving, there's this guy in front of me, just like super slowly turning.
I can always see what this is ending. It's going to be funny.
So sorry, is that camera not absurdly crooked, or
It's
am I?
very
Am I having?
Did something happen? It wasn't that crooked when I started.
It looks fucked.
That's fine.
That looks fucked.
I'm the
right
one
now.
editing it. You're fine.
You're editing it. Why would I be editing it?
I said I'm editing it. You're fine.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
You're,
Ainsley.
you're gonna reposition
I'm gonna
the fucking camera.
I'm going to reposition it after.
Yeah. How I'm barely in shot right now.
You're not the one important. The grass is important.
I'm important. I'm not even in the shot.
You're not in that shot.
Okay. Anyway.
Also, AJ was
As you were
definitely
saying,
close into
Ainsley.
the-
So as
you
I
were
was
close to the
saying
arm.
before
You
I
guys
was
so
interrupted.
rudely interrupted.
Sorry.
Thank you. So I am driving. I've voiced this text I want to send to my mom. And in the process of Siri asking me, do you want to send this or do you want to change it? There's this guy driving in front of me very slowly, just like turning and stopping, like to maybe go out like of the plaza, maybe go straight. So me in my casual road rage, I go, figure it the fuck out, you stupid. See you next Tuesday. And that was what was sent to my mom. And I was so confused because I'm going to park at the restaurant to go back to my shift, and Siri reads the text she sends back to me and it's just a question mark. And I'm like, what do you mean a question mark? Why is it such a hard concept that I want to donate these florals to the restaurant? Like, what don't you get about that? Like in my head, roasting my mom. And then I open my phone to that and I go, oh my God, I'm sorry. I was driving and voice texting. What I meant to say was, and she goes, LOL. and just casual that I called my mom a stupid see you next Tuesday. My mom is not easily offended. I actually have a really fun story, and it's kind of like an ongoing joke now with her, where she used to work at home, and I was getting ready for school the one day, and I was straightening my hair, and my mom was like doing stuff like at work, and I go to her, I'm like, oh, is my hair okay? And I like turned around so she could look at the back, and instead of like giving me a thumbs up, she goes to me, and I go, like, I think I'm like 11, 12 when this happens. And she just flips me off. And I'm like gobsmacked. And she's like, what? I'm like, my hair is okay. And she's like, oh my God. So now that's kind of like an inside joke where we'll flip each other off and be like, your hair looks good. And
Nice.
I just think that's a funny little thing that we do.
Right.
So speaking on like family stuff like that, I actually almost broke up my father and my stepmother.
Why? Why
What?
would you? What? Sorry,
Yeah,
I was not near my mic.
Sir.
So I was hanging out with it was one of my ex-girlfriends, and
What one?
great question.
Wait,
I'm not
was
going to
this
answer
was
it
this high school?
anyway. So
Was this high school or after high school?
after high school,
Oh,
of
okay.
course, and 'cause I didn't date anybody in high school because nobody wanted to fucking talk to me, because I was a weird
Same.
kid.
Fucking band nerd.
Everybody thought I was a
Same.
fucking backpack kid,
I don't know what that means.
which I'm now a professional backpack kid. So anyway, I don't think that joke landed very well.
I don't know what a backpack kid is. What is a backpack kid? I
What
don't know
does
what
that
that
mean?
is.
Someone who brings a weapon with them.
Oh, like school shooter?
Yeah, it was a bad joke. It was a bad
Oh.
joke. But now, like, I carry a weapon. So, anyway,
I
So,
am no longer
fucking
feeling
bear-
safe and comfortable with these three white men. Please send help.
Bare,
I would like a
barely in these
pepperoni
shorts.
pizza, please.
yeah. In these shorts, where is the weapon hiding?
Oh,
Next time on the podcast, you'll find out.
Yeah. Next time, I'm just giving up. Where is Alex hiding his weapon? Anyway, so I went to Shoppers Drug Mart and I bought condoms and beef jerky because I was a 20-year-old kid who enjoys sex and beef jerky.
I mean, you have sex, you want a snack. I get it.
Right? Facts,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
A classic carnivore.
Right. So what ended up happening was I didn't drive at this point. So I left the receipt in my father's car.
oh no.
Yes. So this beautiful person named Murray, unfortunately, he is deceased now. Great influence in my life. I miss him a lot. But
Who is he to you?
he was the grandfather in my life. He taught me a lot, and yeah, I miss him a lot. But besides the point, not to go down that road, but so Murray was sitting in the back seat with my father driving and my stepmother in the passenger seat, and Murray grabs a receipt that's in the back, that's in the back area, the back seats, and he goes, condoms and beef jerky. And then but instead of handing that to my father, he hands that directly to my stepmom.
Oh no, Mary.
and goes, by the way, to preface this man he's bought like Walmart underwear and has like hid it within my dad's house
Okay, got it.
just to fuck with them. And vice versa. Like he's bought like tidy whitey underwear and like smeared pudding on it just to fuck with my stepmother. So like this man fucks with people. But he handed it right to my stepmother and goes, you need to take a look at this. And so my stepmother goes, like, looks at the address. It's like Fairview Park Mall. My dad was working around Fairview Park Mall at the time. And so she grabs the receipt and says, Fairview Park Mall shoppers. Well, why the fuck are you buying condoms? Right? Yeah. And like they get into a fight. Like they're fucking screaming at each other. One of them leaves one of the other at Costco. Well, like they drive back by themselves. But the thing is like all I get out of this story is I'm hanging out at one of our mutual friends' places, Chris Allen Hess.
Thank you.
Yes. And I get a phone call at like 8 in the fucking morning. My father's been up all fucking night and just goes, the voicemail goes like this, and it's very upset sounding. It goes, "So you like fucking beef jerky, eh?"
You like fucking beef jerky.
Yeah, and so I call my dad back, and I'm like, "Hey, Dad, is everything okay?" He's like, "Yeah, everything's great, Alex. Do you like beef jerky?" I'm like, yeah, I guess, Dad. Like, why? What's up? He's like, "So you bought some beef jerky, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "And condoms?" And I'm like, and by the way, I'm like barely awake. I'm just like, I don't fucking know, maybe. And he was like, and he like listed off the date. He was like, December 16th at 9 a.m., huh? And I'm like, maybe, Dad. And he was like, "Well, just so you know, you almost broke us up." I'm like, what is going on right now? Right. And then he explains it all to me. And I'm like, yeah, it was 100% me. And then my stepmother gets on the phone, was like, "So you did it?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She was like, "Just so you know, this happened." And I'm like, "That's hilarious." And she's like, "Yeah, it's pretty funny." She just like hangs up the phone.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Fuck out.
Yeah, I almost broke my parents up. And it was,
Why did you do that to them?
what? Well, it was more or less like I just like bought those things because, like, you know, who doesn't like beef jerky and
And then you
sex?
just dropped the fucking receipt in the car.
Yeah, well, I didn't mean to.
The thing is,
Why did you take a receipt? That's the question.
Well, because I'm old as fuck, and they always give you receipts at that time.
yeah, but
But
be
like,
like
what-
most people and just drop them. I worked as a cashier and people just leave them.
So, but if somebody hands something to me and goes, "Here you go, sir," I'm not just going to be like, "Go fuck yourself."
What did you do? You planted it
Most
in the
people
car.
would.
No, it just
No.
like it was like in my backpack. Like I just like shoved everything in my backpack, and I pulled up my sweater, and it like fell out or something. I don't fucking know. I don't know how it got there.
see the what I took away from this story is Murray is a hell of a shit disturber.
Dude, Murray.
Because if she found the receipt regularly, she'd be like, "Oh, did you buy condoms?" Like she wouldn't have immediately thought you're buying condoms. She's like, "Oh, who bought this?"
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
but Murray being like, "You need to look at this."
Yeah. So my favorite story about Murray, and like, okay, Murray is the reason why I don't drink Fireball anymore. To preface this, but so on it, I think it was like his like 87th birthday. He was like, "Alex, I want to hire you," and I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" And he was like, "All my friends are coming over to your dad's house. I want to hire you as a bartender." And I'm like 18, right? So like, not only do I not know how to make drinks, I don't drink.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Like I just started drinking. It was like,
Legally.
I think it was like 2 months before my birthday. So I just had my first couple of beers
Legally.
because I'm a good boy. And so he hires me. So, and they set up these bars, right?
Did you honestly only start drinking like right before you turned 18
Excessively,
or
yes.
19?
I had my first drink when I was 13 years old. It was red wine. And then after that, I didn't drink up until I was like 18, close to 19.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't do that at all. But anyway, let me finish this story quickly. So Murray was diagnosed with cancer that year. Very unfortunate. But he purchased like a couple gravestones with his name on it. Yeah, a couple.
Okay.
By the way, this man is a very rich man. He sold all the property to Hassenfratz, like the owner of Linamar.
Yeah.
He sold all the industrial land to him. He's never married, never has kids, spent his whole life traveling and just selling real estate. And he what was I saying with that? So he's diagnosed with cancer, and he bought a bunch of gravestones. And then for his like 89th birthday, he just served sandwiches off of them. That's what he did. That's what he did. So I like walked into the party, and I'm like serving these like very old people like sandwiches off this platter. And I'm like, why does this say like Murray like 2022? And I'm like, oh my God, this is a headstone. And I'm like, Murray, what the fuck is this? And he's just like, "Nah, I thought it was funny." You know, just shit like that, right? He was an amazing person. But
I love that.
yeah, he was a great guy. There's a memorial for him, and actually in Guelph, if anybody wants to visit. You don't have to. It's actually weird if you do. If I see anybody there who I don't recognize, I'm gonna be like, "Why the fuck are you here?" And I'll fight you on site.
When is it?
He's always carrying a weapon, guys.
Always.
Oh,
It's in my ass.
yeah,
that
it
was
is.
for the next podcast, Alex.
Yep.
You're
Edit that
spoiled.
out.
How to hold a weapon in your butthole.
They call that keystring.
Yeah, it's keystring.
We were talking earlier, almost right before this podcast, how AJ's road rage is just screaming "daddy,
Yes.
daddy, daddy" over and over again.
Yeah, what the fuck is that about?
So
I don't see AJ having a road rage, if I'm honest with you.
Well,
No,
it
I
sounds like
don't
road rage.
actually have much road rage.
My
No,
roommate does.
I'm-
What the fuck?
Like
but-
if someone cuts me off, I'm just like, ah, shit.
I'm just,
I'm
I'm
the
just-
angry one.
yeah, I'm just
I
saying.
have a
Would
fucking
you,
road rage story, by the way.
would you
I
rather have him have road rage, like screaming and yelling, instead of yelling "daddy, daddy, daddy"?
No, it's more of like a tick.
Yeah.
Okay. You wanna
It's more of like a tick where like sometimes like while I'm driving, like I'm singing, like I sing when I drive. I
Yeah.
listen to podcasts while I drive, but sometimes like honestly, I don't do it when Ainsley's not in the car, which is kind of interesting thing to mention.
the daddy,
But
daddy, daddy.
but like sometimes while I'm driving, like I feel like they need to be heard, and then when I'm driving, I just go.
Yeah, I'd hate that too.
Yeah, I would also hit that.
Yeah. And he just like sometimes he'll just be like out of nowhere and it's just so jarring.
Mm.
When you're just like because a lot of the time it'd be like I'm stoned and suddenly he's like screaming that right beside me and I'm like, what is your problem? I hate that.
The idea of just screaming "daddy, daddy, daddy" out of nowhere
Or-
is so funny.
What's the other one you do? The fucking like SpongeBob one you do.
Oh, so many.
What?
The like I don't know how to do
Oh,
it.
Lily.
Yeah, similar to
the
that.
one that Patrick does.
Yeah, the
Ladle?
yeah.
Little.
Yeah, you do like that one sometimes, and that one drives me insane because
So
it
sometimes when I
reminds me
pull
of my brother.
So sometimes when I pull on the highway, I like when I start like accelerating because you have to like start going fast on the highway. I go, let's go.
I have never witnessed that.
I
Yeah.
hate that so much.
Because
Please?
it's like Mario Kart, right?
Oh man.
Do you guys like that?
No!
Why?
You know
I-
what? You know what?
Why?
You know what? If you did that while I was in the car, I'd find that fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
I'm
so
not
would
gonna
I.
lie.
I would also find it funny. Because it would come out of left field, I feel like. It'd be like, what the fuck you talking about?
Oh, let's go.
The whole thing, eh?
No, I don't do the whole thing. I just go like it's time to go.
That last one wasn't it. The other one's probably really good.
No, but like usually I drag it on like that as I accelerate.
And this is only when
And
you're
we're back. It's funny again.
yeah, this is only when you're by yourself in the car.
I'm like,
Apparently.
here we go.
That's good.
Does no one do anything like that?
No.
Just me.
No.
Just you.
Also, something I didn't realize is like people don't sing around the house constantly.
Yeah.
I do. I
I-
do
What do you
all
mean?
the
Oh,
time.
but
I
like-
sing
but like-
all the fucking time.
But like, what's that game show we watch? The
Which
one where
one?
with the one where there's a screen.
The
Love is
circle?
blind. Love
the
is
circle,
blind.
the circle,
The
Oh.
circle.
the circle, and I'm like, why are these people not singing ever?
Yeah.
It's so
He-
normal. You're like, why are these people not
No.
doing this?
Literally, this man sings constantly. Like, I mean, he sings when he pees, when he's just walking around the house,
Yeah.
when we're watching TV, when he's in the shower, when I'm upstairs getting ready, listening to music. He's just belting it out downstairs. So I had to pause my music so I can't deal with
Because you have to
both noise.
listen. You have to listen.
It's
is
just
so
so
fucking-
beautiful and
It's so
angelic,
good.
and I just
Because it's so good.
I have to pause my own music because nothing
I'm just
compares
saying-
to his voice.
Ainsley, if you ever move out, I'm moving in with him. Just to
You-
hear his voice.
That's a threat.
Can we switch?
That's a
That is a
threat.
Hey, don't joke about that.
All right, your relationship is very chaotic. So
Yeah, we're in a pretty chaotic relationship, guys.
Okay, let's not joke about that anymore.
Never mind.
I told
Never
everyone to get it out before the podcast.
I'm
How dare you bring it into
sorry.
the
I'm
podcast?
sorry.
guys, sorry, we went back to it. That's
Sorry.
fine. Anyway, speaking about road rage. So my roommate Ryan, I'm not going to say his last name. My roommate Ryan.
Ryan, who was on the podcast,
Who was on the
he had long
podcast.
hair. He has He has a scar
He
on
likes
the right
Bigfoot.
side of his
Yes, he
head.
does.
He smiles and very pretty.
Very pretty.
I have a question.
This man has the worst road rage you will ever fucking see.
He told me.
The only time I've ever had police involved in road rage was because of him. And this is how it fucking happened.
Wait, is he one of those drivers that like go after the person?
Yes.
Oh my God.
No. Actually, he's one of those people that like will like instigate them to the point where they come after him.
Wait, can I preface something?
Sure.
In everyday relationships, he is the least confrontational person
Yes.
I've ever
Yes.
met.
He
I
is
think- I've
literally
never
the
seen him mad,
nicest,
yeah.
like such a sweetheart.
Yeah. I was talking to him, and like I was talking to him about like his interpersonal things. I don't want to disclose anything, but like I'm like basically like a situation. I'm like, how do you deal with that? And he's like, well, like I just kind of went with it, and like it's just something I learned to deal with, and like it is what it is. Like something along those lines. But like he's like, but in the car. That is my kryptonite.
Anyway, so what I was saying was the biggest road rage incident I've ever been in was with my roommate Ryan. By the way, as you both said, probably one of the nicest, coolest, calm, collected person I could probably ever describe to anybody.
Literally the most calming person to talk to.
Yeah.
Like,
100%. But the moment he gets into a car, it all changes. And I
I-
don't
can't honestly believe this.
He gets
I'm not gonna
possessed by
lie.
the devil.
wait till you guys fucking hear this story. So we're driving down the 401. We're headed towards Cambridge from Kitchener. And there's this guy who's driving a little slow in the right-hand lane. We're trying to get off onto like Hessler Road. Ryan, once again, you guys haven't been in a car with him. He like drops it into second gear, drop the gear for power,
Yeah.
and he fucking flies in front of this pickup truck, like kind of cuts him off in a way, right? And then we're going to Franklin, so it's all roundabouts.
Oh, good.
This was when Franklin was under construction. So this is important to the story, I promise you. So we're now at a light where it's a transport truck beside us, and then us, and now at the fucking lights, and a pickup truck that Ryan just cut off behind us.
God.
So this guy was like following us super close to like Ryan's bumper after Ryan cut him off, because Ryan cut him off. And so Ryan was like, I'm going to go the same speed of this as this transport truck out of the lights. So light turns green. Ryan goes like fucking like 3 kilometers an hour. Like he's like matching the speed of the transport truck. This guy, not saying he was right, but he was very pissed off, flies around Ryan. Like he goes like the transport truck at this point like speeds up past us because we're so fucking slow, and Ryan's trying to piss this guy off. He like flies onto oncoming traffic, runs over 3 fucking pylons, and is now in like the center median, like the dirt of the center median. And he like flies like over blocks us in our lane, and comes out with like an old English police like mallet, like it's like a, yeah, but it's like
Yeah.
thin around the handle, but like it's like a bat. You know what I'm talking about?
See, that's something that like I don't know if that would be intimidating. But in the situation, like I feel like there's like you can still keep someone at distance with like kicks. That can't like fucking swing it at you, but like that's me from like a fighting perspective.
Right, of course. But like, but this guy, he gets out of his truck. By the way, if any of you have ever seen the Family Guy thing where like it's like the construction worker where his eyes are too close together.
Yeah.
So this motherfucker looked like. So he comes out with this. He starts smacking Ryan's car with this fucking mallet or like baton kind of fucking thing. And he's like smacking the windshield. He's like going to Ryan, like the driver's side. He's like fucking hitting it.
Did you record this?
No, dude, we were in such shock, right? But like my first instinct is to like get out of the car and to stop this from fucking happening. Right. So like he's now blocking the lane of traffic. There's only one fucking lane because it's under construction. Right. So I I undo my seatbelt. Ryan's like, do not get out of the car. And I'm like, this motherfucker needs to stop. Right? So as I open the door, put one foot on the ground, Ryan just takes off. And so my foot's like out of the door. I shut the door. And it's not like he's driving on the road because this guy's blocking it. He's driving through the construction site. So it's like he's like swerving and shit. I'm like, one foot's out the door. I'm like, Ryan! I'm screaming because I'm like trying not to fall out of the fucking car. This guy's now got back into his truck and he's following us. And Ryan's like, this guy, like, and Ryan's like, this is a challenge. So he's like dropping gear towards fucking stop signs and fucking running through them and shit. I'm like, I'm gonna die today kind of shit, right? And
this was a different Ryan than I described earlier.
That's what I mean. People don't know this about Ryan. He's a psychopath. I live with him. I know him. I've known him since kindergarten. So
I'm not going to incriminate Ryan.
I will. So this is what fucking happened. And then we eventually run a couple stop signs. This guy's still chasing us. He eventually like peels off randomly, right? And then Ryan, because he's trying to sell his car at that point, calls the police and he's like, "Hey, this fucking happened. I need to have a police report for my insurance claim because this guy has now dented the shit out of Ryan's car." And the police officer would not stop saying to us, "This guy lives so close to you, so close to you." And he it was just like after every fucking sentence, we were like, yeah, I know it was fucking weird. He did this. He's like, and the officer was like, yeah, I know it's pretty crazy that he would do that to you because he just lives really close to you. Yeah, and we found out where he lived. He lived just down the fucking road from where Ryan lived.
Immediately, I would be like, where?
Well, we did.
Yeah.
And he did not tell us. But he just kept being like, but this guy's like really close to you, right? So we so that was the end of that.
Did Ryan get the insurance claim?
Yeah, Ryan got the insurance claim. Ryan sold his car. Everything was good. But this is, people don't know this, but this is like one of like 5 stories I have of Ryan doing this kind of shit. But he is the nicest guy. You guys would never expect it.
I'm so shocked right now, honestly.
Right?
well, he told me like he told me a little bit about it, but like I didn't like truly know what when he was like he's like yeah, like he's like my kind of vice is road rage. And like he says it like that. He's like, hey, like you know, I figure like issues we can resolve, but driving in the car, I get pretty mad sometimes.
Yes. Dude, it's crazy.
But he says it like that, eh?
Yeah.
Like,
he's
chill.
like, but driving, like I get he's like sometimes I get pretty pissed off.
It's fucking wild. It is crazy.
Oh my god.
I kind of want to drive with him now.
I've never seen that guy mad. Like I've seen him go through like the most tragic shit in his life, and he's like, "Yeah, it sucks, man. I just appreciate that you're here and like hanging out with me and stuff like that, you know." But like the moment he gets onto the road, and like a cab driver cuts him off, he's like, "You motherfucker!" He's like waving shit out of the window. He's like, "I'm gonna fuck." Like something about fucking tires, man, just gets him going. I don't get it.
I want to go on a road trip with him.
I kind of
amazing.
want to experience it a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
It's great. Because like I know him in like other situations. I just really want to see him in this situation. And
oh my god!
Like I want to be on a road trip with him where he's driving.
my favorite Ryan story. I'm hijacking this shit at this point. I understand that, but like, so we were in grade 10, I think, and there was like the smoke pit out front of Grand River where we went to high school. And
bleep that, Stefan. Grand River.
Sure. Whatever.
Wait, why did I say that again?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, so where we went to high school, there's like a smoke pit out front. So this one guy recently kind of like he robbed Ryan. Ryan was like, "Hey, can I get X amount for X?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And like he was like, "Here it is." And he was like, "You never gave that to me. kind of shit, and was like, "You owe me this amount of money." He was like, "I just gave that to you." And he like, I don't know how he intimidated Ryan, but he was like, "No, you didn't give it to me." So Ryan had to give him more money. He robbed Ryan. So we were like walking outside of the smoke pit, like to go to like the plaza to go to lunch, and this guy like fucking blatantly like walks into Ryan, like shoulder checks him, right? And then so, by the way, keep in mind, Ryan in high school wears like size like 00 chicks jeans. We all have long hair, swoopy hair. We're all scene emo kids. Ryan turns to this motherfucker and goes, "Hey, fuck you, asshole!" Right? So this guy turns around and is like, "The fuck did you say to me?" This guy's now across the street. Ryan grabs his belt buckle and goes, "Suck my dick, bitch." And at this point, there's now like a crowd around us. I'm like, "Dude, we're gonna die." Like, why are you saying this to this man? Right? This guy's like 2 grades above us. And so this guy was like, this guy was like, "Do you want to like fucking fight?" And Ryan pulls the belt, like unbuckles it, slings it out of his pants, and goes, "Let's dance, bitch."
Jeez.
Literally word for fucking word. I'm not making any of this shit up. And at this point, fucking does the school narc, I can't remember his name, Mr. fucking
One of the teachers?
McGregor, or what the fuck his name was,
Yeah.
comes out and like stops it. But I was like, dude, we would have died. Like there was like 16-2. But he was like, "Fuck that bitch." And I was like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Jeez.
Yeah, the guy's insane.
And it was probably like not that much money that he got robbed of.
It was $5. Literally $5. It did not need to equal that.
Oh.
What the actual
Yeah,
fuck?
Ryan's a psychopath, and it's amazing. He's not a psychopath. He just doesn't like being fucked around.
See, like, in that circumstance, like, I didn't really, like, I was kind of a bigger guy. Like, people were a little intimidated of me.
I didn't even know you in high school.
In high school. You knew of me.
I knew of you, but I wasn't like friends with you.
I feel like I was like everybody sort of knew me, but like I was only close with like a few people.
Right.
He was just like super popular, and
I
he couldn't
so
keep up with all
popular.
of his friends. He was just
All of them. All the ones that he
all of
had.
them.
See, like I think I would have been friends with like I want to say I would have been friends with like popular people in high school, but the problem is I was so loyal to one of my close buddies.
Right.
And that I'm like, this is my fucking person, buddy.
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah, anyway.
Oh.
Yeah. So I just didn't go to school.
You didn't go to school?
Yeah, I just didn't go to school. I literally dropped out in grade 10, and then I went back for what would be everybody's 5th year. And I did 18 credits in a year and a half.
Jesus.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I did day school, night school, online schooling, and co-op.
I did
all at the same time.
I did grade 11 English, grade 12 English of the like lower level, and then I went back and did 11 and 12 of the higher because like I was like going into high school in Canada, you don't realize that how important it is to get the like higher level credits.
Yeah, it means a lot. Yeah.
And like for the things that you want, like genuinely want to do in life.
Mhm.
And for me, like I had no fucking clue that it was important. Like people were like, "Oh, you do so much better in the lower level, like in the college level."
Yeah.
Or like the what it was called in our high school was the applied level. And I'm like, yeah, like that makes sense. But then I did it, and then like there were some things I took in the higher level, and like just because I could and it was easy for me, like math. But yeah, for some reason math in high school was so easy to me.
What happened?
I don't know. I don't know. I just stopped doing
You
it.
stopped applying it.
Yeah.
You stopped applying the math.
Yeah, I stopped doing the higher levels. But I remember like I'm like, I don't want to fucking just go to college. I want to go to university. And then it's like almost too late. after grade like fucking 11, and it's like, well, I chose the lower level, and I'm like, well, no, because I took half and half, and then I went to summer school one year because I wanted to upgrade them, and I fucking passed phenomenally.
What's insane is I found summer school, because it was such a shorter time frame, so much fucking easier. Because it was like 4 to 8 hours of just that one class. It was just so easy to like breeze through it.
See, for me, it was so far away that it didn't matter. Like it didn't matter in terms of like time, like how long it took, because it was so far away that it like ended up equaling more time.
What?
Like where I went to summer school, I didn't go to our high school for summer school.
You had to go to SJAM.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you had to take a bus. Like I remember taking like a school bus.
Yeah, but it wasn't worth it. Like I would have stayed in regular level, higher level courses if it meant that like I hit the same. And I remember like I went to my guidance counselor and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna take this higher level course, and it like everything was fine. And then I got swapped guidance counselor, and they're like, actually, you're not allowed to do this, but for all these courses, you are allowed because you already did the prerequisite, but technically you weren't supposed to. And I'm like,
what the fuck?
Shut the fuck up, bitch. I'm fucking I already did it.
So Ainsley, what was that confrontation you had at work today?
So it wasn't necessarily a confrontation, but so I was supposed to start at 5:30, and something about me is I have to be early to everything because I get so anxious about being late that
That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not. But I usually like to be like at least 10 minutes early to work.
If you're not early, you're late.
Exactly.
So
you're not first, you're last.
But I had left here at like just like a little bit after 5, which is usually that's kind of like pushing it for me. So I was on my way to work and it was just kind of like everything slowed me down. So like I was getting off the highway and we had a green light to turn, like, and I was like, nice. Guy in front of me starts, there's a homeless guy, like with a sign and everything at the thing. This guy pulls over at this green light, starts giving him groceries, like out of the car to him. Which
like he got out of the car and like was feeding him?
No, like he was like handing him, he like handed him like, it kind of looked like bags of like, maybe like chips or something. Handed him like a whole cauliflower, like a head of cauliflower.
He wouldn't appreciate that.
And
get to cook that. That's
he's
weird.
doing this at the green light, and I'm like, in my own head, I'm like, fuck, I'm late. And I'm like, you're really gonna stop at this green light? And you couldn't have done this? Like, I was like, oh, like, I get it, you're trying to be nice, but I'm like sitting here watching this guy. This is not a part of the story. This is just a side quest. But I'm watching this guy just like hand him like all of these groceries. I'm like, that is really nice and kind. I'm like, how is he going to carry all of this? So I'm like watching this go down and the light turns red. So we don't get to go through. And it is like a long light to like.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know which one you're talking about.
So I'm like sitting there and I'm like.
Did you know at that light, someone got shot in the head?
All right.
At the stoplight, like literally at the at that intersection.
Enough. Hey. I will be taking a new way to work. That is, I don't like hearing that.
Specifically there, like in front of the toys and hobbies type shit to the left.
Anyway, on with the story.
So I'm like sitting there and I'm like, okay. So I'm like, and I always have cash on me. I'm a server. I just always have it. So I'm like, I'm just going to give this guy some money. I'm going to give him a bag because my whole thought was like, he needs a bag for these groceries that this guy just like hands him for his like chips and the head of cauliflower and the like 2 apples that he like dropped one and it's like into the street. So I'm like, okay, like I like put down my, I'm like, hey, you want a bag? And I like hand him like some cash and I'm like, have a nice day. And the light changes and I go. And then I get to train tracks and we're lined up, stopped because there's a train coming. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Things go back up. We're going. And as we're going, another train fucking comes. So I'm sitting
Classic.
here like it's 5:20 and I'm like, I should be at work with my apron on, like anxious as hell. I'm like 2 minutes away. So like I pull in and like I come into the restaurant, like kind of looks at me weird. I get in. She's like, hey, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. He's like, you're good to start? I'm like, yeah, like no problem. Like really kind of like asking me if I'm okay. And I'm like, yeah, like I'm good. Like I still have my jacket on. I'm like clocking in, trying to ring in an Uber because they're obviously busy.
What an interesting name.
You might need to bleep that out. Anyways. So my mailman, so he's like, oh, hey, like you're good. I'm like,
Mailman?
yeah, like mail manager. So he's like, yeah, like, hey, like, I'm like, yeah, like I'm good to go, like whatever. So I go up to the front where we have our sections and I'm like looking at it and he's like, oh my God, like, are you okay? Did something happen on the way here? And I'm like, no, like I'm like, I'm sorry, like I was just running like a little bit like late, but I'm here by 5:30. Like I know I'm usually here a little bit earlier, like like, and she's like, oh, like he texted you to come in at 5 and you responded. I was like, what? And so like I have my watch on, so I like scroll up and I'm like, I don't have a message from him. And she's like, no, he said he texted you and like you responded, yeah, like I'll be there for 5. And I was like, what? She's like, I was so worried. Like I was watching out the window, like at every car, checking if it was you. Like I thought you'd gotten into a car accident. Like we were so worried. Like I was gonna call the cops and like see like freaking out. Like no, like I didn't get a text. And I'm like, I don't have one. And so he pulls up his phone. He pulls it open. I immediately look at the number. It's not saved, like a contact. And I go, it's like just like, so the first 3 numbers completely different. Like I don't have any of those numbers in my first 3.
Right.
And I look at it, I'm like, that's not my number. And he's like, then who texted me back saying they were coming for 5?
That's amazing.
No.
And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like dying laughing. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm sorry. I was just running a little bit late. Like
That's so
but I
fucking
didn't get
good.
that.
Someone was like screwing you over. Some random ass person was like, bet this person's gonna be the 5.
No, I would 100% do that. If I got a message like, hey, can you come in at 5 instead of 5:30 today? I'd be like, 100%, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, literally, that's what they
Yeah,
did.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Because we had like I had a reservation at 5. And so I was like, that's why they had asked me to come in early. And I was like, I didn't get that. And I'm like, no, the last text I got from him was like the group message I like sent to him. And I had sent him a text today, like a couple hours before my shift, because I reached out to her to be like, hey, I talked to someone. This was like the conversation, like just kind of wanted to like make sure you knew and whatnot. And she's like, oh, like no problem, like that, but that goes to like him now that he's back, because he was back home for a while. And yeah, so I had texted him like individually and in a group chat, and he still texted the wrong person asking them to come in. I couldn't get over it. She was like, I was so worried. I was gonna call the cops. Like I had like my face pressed to the window, like watching for you. Like that's not her car. Like it was so funny. So like I had
technically my car is not your car.
Technically your car, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah, and no. I just want to call that out.
Yeah. So I had both of my managers just thinking I died in a fiery car crash on my way to work today when I didn't show up at 5 o'clock. Like I had apparently said I would.
Yeah, some random person just like, yeah, fucked you over. Fucked you over so hard.
You know what? This is your fault.
Yeah, it was. I should really
you should show up
live
30
at the
minutes
restaurant
early every day, just in case.
Honestly, I should have. I was gonna leave like early, and then you guys got here, and then we started like ranting about stuff, and I was like, oh no, like I need to leave for work, and I like never am like late to work. Like I think I've been like 2 minutes late, and I texted being like, I'll be a couple minutes late. And I was literally like 2 minutes late.
I do the exact same thing.
I'm literally always late for work.
Yeah, I was like, half the time I'm texting being like, hey, I might be a little late, and I'm on time.
Yeah.
No, okay,
hold on a second.
Okay.
Alex just said he's always late for work. We need to get into that.
Okay, I used to be always late for work up until I recently had some training.
Did not.
What, on time management?
That was a big portion of it.
I had to. everyone at my work had to do time management where I'm like, yeah, like when I was working days, it was like there'd be a influx towards the end of my shift where we needed to do more. And I'm like, yeah, like it's a little bit harder to manage on day shift to like for me, and everyone had to do time management training. But like as soon as I'm back on evenings, I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, piece of cake. I can do it in 5 minutes. But like as soon as like I leave all my like documentation until the end of the night, and I'm like I'm done it so fast, like like world record speeds of my employment. I can do it so fast. Like I'm so fucking good, guys. So
Now-
guys, don't take this away from me, Alex. I'm so good.
The best ever.
The
now,
The best ever.
I was the best ever
After-
before anybody knew what I was.
after the training that I went through, I get like fucking angry if I'm like late to anything. Like it's like I'm early
Fuck this door.
or I'm fucking busting through doors. Like my like Ryan, once again, crazy road rage Ryan. We'll see
Crazy
this.
road rage, Ryan.
We'll see this. Like he's seen me take a fucking like 1 minute shower. Like I'm like in and out so fucking quick. Like it's crazy. I don't fucking I get very stressed if I'm like late now, and it's
How about for this?
Were you getting in?
I'm not late for this.
No, I'm not saying you are. Like our times are very flex. But if I told you a certain time, would you still be like? Is there a potential?
No.
Never.
Yeah, no.
No.
The reason that doesn't happen is because of this end, not the Alex
This
end.
me.
If you guys
me.
AJ, you don't know this, but like I will message past couple times you can speak to this. I'm like, when are you up? I will be there.
Yeah.
And I'm there like 10 minutes prior in the parking lot. Just like, yeah, I'm already here.
Yeah.
No,
I was
see,
like, when will you be awake at this time? Because this is when I usually wake up.
my mom like instilled in me in like my first my first job. Yes, ma'am. I for some reason, because I'm on the spectrum.
Are you?
Fucking
Everybody, 2
probably.
minutes.
I would take the opening shift at my first job, which started at 7 a.m. And you had to be, and so she would drive me to work, and she would drive me half an hour early, and she would force me to go into this building, which was a Food Basics, at 6:45 in the goddamn morning. And since then, I have to leave. Like, I need double the driving time that it takes me to get somewhere. Because I'm like, there's absolutely no way. I hate being late so much.
I feel that.
And
Yeah,
I think my mom made me
I feel
that
like
person.
that was like a Gen X instilling, being like, you have to be on time.
Yep.
Because like my dad did the exact same thing. And if you would up, he's like, no, you're 15 minutes early. Like that's it. And that's good work ethic, is being 15 minutes early. I'm like, all right. I'm like, I guess so. Now, like I said, even if I'm thinking I'm going to be slightly late, I'll let my boss know. Be like, hey, I might be late. And then I'm on time.
Well,
Can I say some
He makes fun of me when I do that.
closing statements?
Yes, of course.
Because like
You got 1 minute.
we're finishing up now.
Yep.
Hey guys, make sure that you don't have road rage. Make sure
Ryan.
you're there on time. Make sure you're nice to individuals experiencing homelessness.
Ryan.
You're not upset
Just
about you're not upset about being, just take it easy, guys. Take it easy.
you know,
Have a good time. Enjoy your friends that are there for you.
and you know what? Just eat some food and chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, just eat and chill.
Do not do that. Fuck that.
Do not eat and chill.
Just eat and chill.
Do not
guys.
eat and chill.
You won't go back after after a set and drink. You will go home.
You
and
will
eat and chill
you will
instead.
you will stress your friends out.
And that's
Bye.
Bye. Bye, friends.
Thank you for tuning in to Just Giving Up. Bake Beyond Belief. We are number one. We are number one.
Yay. Okay, I'm done.
Like, subscribe, and comment.
Buy their merch, please.